Hello, this is video number 24. This is chapter 5, section 3. And this is all about dividing polynomials by monomials. And so I need to do a quick review, not of the actual dividing part, but dividing of variables. So I just want to remind you that if you have something, if you were told to simplify, let's say 20x to the fourth, y to the third, z over negative 4x squared y z. First off, remember that you can cancel common things. So I always, when I start doing these, and we're going to kind of skip this step because it's something you should know, but I want to review for people who might not have those strong skills. Remember that 20x to the fourth could be this, right? And then y to the third is 3y's and a z. And then your denominator is negative 4xx for x squared, y, z. And you can cancel anything that they have in common. So they both have a z. So I'm going to get rid of those. Here's ay, they both have. And two x's. So 2x's on the bottom, 2x's on the top. And then negative 4 will go into 20 5 times. So I have nothing left on the bottom. It's all canceled out. And I have negative 5. X times x is x squared. Y times y is y squared. And this would be this would be the quotient. Remember, a quotient is the answer to a division problem. Okay, but I want to remind you that you're actually subtracting your exponents. Right? If I have z to the 15th over z to the 7th, I just take the biggest one minus the littlest one, and I get 15 minus 7 is 8, and this is z to the 8. So instead of writing out 15 z's and 7 z's and canceling them, which some of you literally may want to do, you can just subtract, okay? So that's going to come into play hugely in this video, which is going to be very short. We're just making sure that you can actually divide these things. So here's how a problem is going to look in varsity. It's going to give you something like this, 35x squared minus 45x. And then it's going to say divide by the polynomial. Oh, divide the polynomial, sorry, by 5x, which means take this 5x and divide both terms. So I'm dividing by 5x and dividing by 5x. Okay, well, 35 divided by 5 is 7. X squared divided by x, remember that's a 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, so that's 7x. Negative 45 divided by positive 5 is negative 9. X divided by x, these would cancel each other out. I also, excuse me, if you wanted to, going back to this term right here, if you have two x's on top and one on the bottom, you could say, well, this one's going to totally cancel one of these, making that just that. That's how I would do that. And this is your answer. Okay? Let's look at another one. 14a to the 5th plus 28a to the 4th, and divide the polynomial by negative 7a. Again, I would draw this in. Divide by negative 7a, divide by negative 7a. Well, positive 14 divided by a negative 7 is a negative 2. A to the 5th and an a to the 1st, you would cancel one of these out, and this would leave you 4 of these. So a to the 4th. 28 divided by negative 7 is negative 4. And a to the 4th, you take one away from this one, gives you a to the 3rd. Okay, pretty straightforward. Let's just cover 2 more problems real quick. I have a dog doing something it shouldn't be doing. Divide 72x to the 8th y squared minus 4xy. And it's written like this in varsity. by 8xy. Okay, well, it might behoove you to separate these two fractions. So 72 x to the 8th y squared over 8xy, and a negative over a positive is a negative. So 4xy over 8xy. There's a rule in fractions, I don't know if you remember it, but it's a over b plus c over b equals a plus c over b. And essentially that's what's happening here. You have this, which means you can separate it because they're over the same denominator into these two other fractions, which is what I'm doing right here. And that just makes it easier so you don't make a mistake and use up all your xy's in the first one. So now I'm dealing with this. So 72 divided by 8 is 9. And then this is going to get rid of one of these. This is going to get rid of one of these. So I have x to the 7th y minus. Now 4 over 8 is 1 over 2. So that's a half. X's cancel each other, y's cancel each other, and you just end up with the half. So that would be the answer to that problem. All right, and then the last one in this video, super quick and short, says multiply and simplify then divide. And it starts like this. 6x cubed times 8x plus 6 minus 4x squared times 8x minus 4 all over 2x squared. So let's follow the directions and do these in order. Order of operations is parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So we have to do anything that involves parentheses first. So we're going to distribute these two things. That will give me 6x cubed times 8x is 48x to the 4th. 6x cubed times 6 is plus 36x cubed. I'm done with that whole first thing, so this is gone. Move over here and multiply the negative 4x squared by both of those things. Negative 4 times positive 8 is negative 32. X to the 3rd, remember there's a 1 on that x. And then negative 4x squared times negative 4 is plus 16x squared. And all of this is still over 2x squared. Well, now my next step would be to combine like terms on the top. And I do have two that I can combine. They would be those. So this now gives me 48x to the 4th. 36 minus 32 is plus 4x cubed. Remember, you keep your variables the same. Plus 16x squared, all divided by 2x squared. And again, my recommendation would be separate fractions. 48x to the 4th over 2x squared plus 4x cubed over 2x squared plus 16x squared over 2x squared. If you don't want to do that green step, you don't have to, but be careful. All right, so 48 divided by 2 is 24. X squared goes into x to the 4th, so two of these are going to be left over. So I have 24x squared. This next term is going to leave me 2x. See if you can see how that's going to happen. And in my last term, I'm only going to have a plus 8 because these will cancel each other out. And that's how that's going to end up looking. All right, so we're going to utilize this topic in the next section, which is called factoring out a GCF, or a greatest common factor. So this idea is key in that. All righty. So that's it for now. That is 5.3. And we'll go do that and then get back to some more. Toodaloo.